Um, so if I might, there was another thing that we talked about that I thought was really fascinating, and I didn't know it. I remember asking you a bit about psychiatry, right? And then you went right into, well, you know what psychiatry means, you know what that. Can you talk a bit about that and the psyche? I think was it a white butterfly? I'm probably butchering it, Hector, but can you talk a little bit
No,
about
you're
that?
right. You're right. You're on it. So I honestly came into this accidentally. A few years back, it was actually right before the pandemic. It
Hmm.
was February of 2020, so it was like literally right before everything just shut down.
Yep.
Um, we had gone to Europe. We were in Paris, and we went to the Louvre, and I really got just fascinated by this statue in the corner, and it was a statue of Cupid, right? Arrows
Hmm.
kissing a girl, right? And it's called Cupid's Kiss, right? For some reason, I just kept kind of going through it. So I got home and I love art. I love history, especially Greek mythology and all that stuff. I'm a nerd for that kind of stuff. Um,
Okay.
and I was like, okay, let me learn about this. And it turns out that the girl, her name is Psyche. So I thought I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. Let me keep reading more. And that's where the word psychiatry comes from. So psyche in Greek means the soul. And then
Oh, there it
psychiatry
is.
is the medical management or the management of the soul. So I thought that was just not only like just beautiful and poetic. I was like, this is amazing. Like it just opened up my mind to the word psychiatry, which for a while has had a negative view on it. Um, you're psycho, right? These kind
Hmm.
of tags, right? Um,
Yep.
but me being the person that I am, creative and curious all the time,
Yep.
I started looking even more. And the girl, her name is also the white butterfly. So to me, that was a perfect marriage, and that's what I named my practice, the white butterfly. So I have
Wow.
pictures of that statue everywhere. I was even thinking about getting a tattoo of it. It's just so freaking cool. And
Yeah.
I read the book of that story, which is a Greek, mythology story. Um,
Yeah.
so I thought it was just
You know
kind of
what?
fascinating.
I just can't help when I think about America, and you mentioned about the negative connotation with psychiatry, and quite frankly, again, I think it's improving our
Yeah,
perspectives about mental health, brain health, those kind of things. But for the longest time, I think the association for that term was typically negative. And I just have this image in my head of a doctor letting a person know, I just want you to understand the meaning of my work. The meaning of this work is it would seem to change the paradigm a bit. You know what I mean?
yeah. It just changes, I think, and it also tells us the power of words.
Yeah.
you know but many of us, we're not looking, we don't really pay attention to like the root. Where's this word coming from? What it used to mean? I'm a little bit nerd about that, so I do like to look at words because I'm very thoughtful of the words that I choose to say.
Hmm.
I know that words can hurt someone, but I also know words can uplift someone, or tying it back to emotional intelligence in corporate world is influence people to do certain things. I tell patients, I my job is to work on your soul, is to work on those thoughts, those views of yourself, of how you view other people, your relationships, and it's just on and on and on, right?
Yeah.
If we're able to heal that, I think many of us today feel, which is probably one of the most Googled questions, is why am I lonely? Why do I feel loneliness? Right? Um, People are hurting down to their core, down